So this time I'm giving you two lines. The first one is called L1 and the second one is called L2. This is just the name of the line. But this is the equation of the first line and this is the equation of the second line. I want to know, are these two lines parallel or perpendicular also? So I need to get what here? I need to get the slope from here, and I need to get the slope here as well. And then I can compare these two slopes. Are they equal or something else? Or there's a special relationship between them, or there is no special relationship? So I need to calculate M1 and M2. But how do I get the slope M1, for example? Calculating M1, how do I get that? What do I do? How do I get the slope from this equation? Yeah, find the value. Solve for y. Solve for y. It is the coefficient of x. The coefficient of x is here is 1. But this is not the slope, because this is not y equal. This equation must be y equal before you say the slope is the coefficient of 1, the number multiplied by x. Sorry, the coefficient of x. So let us solve this equation for solve for y. Can you make y separate? So I'm going to move y to the other side. Okay, I'm just moving y to the other side. I'm going to do this. Okay, so I'm going to bring this 6 here. Okay, so let's do that. It will be here what? It will be x minus 6 equal to 3y. And then what? I isolated 3y on one side, but still 3y. I want just y. What do I do to make it just y? Divide by 3. Divide by 3 here and divide by 3 here. So this will become y, and this will become x minus 6 over 3. Okay. What does that really mean? This means y equal x over 3 minus 6 over 3. When you divide, remember, when you divide binomial by one term, each term will be divided. Each term will be divided. So the x divided by 3, 6 divided by... We took this before in division. Go back to division of polynomials and review it. And after that, I can say, okay, well, this means x over 3 minus 2. Now, what is the coefficient of x? What is the number multiplied by x now? 1 over 3. 1 over 3. So m1 is equal to 1 over 3. m1 is equal to 1 over 3. So I can say now here m1 is equal to 1 over 3. It is the coefficient of x. But after you solve for y, make it y equal. Clear now what we did? Again, I just want to tell you that from this step to this step, all what I did is I bring the y, it was on the right side. I make the y on the left side. This was on the left side, it became on the right side. That's what I did. Okay? And also, I divided each one by 3. So the x divided by the 3 and 6 divided by 3. I should stop here. Khalas, I should stop here. Maybe this part is extra. And maybe down, I should instead of writing this here, if this is confusing you, khalas, but I forget about it. Let's just make it here. Y equal x over 3 minus 2. Okay? So still, this is the right, this is the left. It just became left and right. And then I'll rewrite it one more time. Okay? But here I divide by 3. And here 6 divided by 3, it becomes 2. So the coefficient of x now is 1 over... The number multiplied by x, what is the number multiplied by x? It's 1 over 3, because this is basically, this is like 1 over 3x. What is 1 over 3x? How do you multiply 1 over 3 times x? Huh? How do you multiply this? Up multiplied up, down multiplied down. But the x is actually x over 1, isn't it? So this is x over 3. Same thing. I can write it like this. Huh? I can write it 1 over 3 times x, or x over 3. It shouldn't be confusing. This should be the same thing, right? So the coefficient is 1 over 3 anyway. This is m1. Okay? Right, let us repeat this one more time for the second equation. The second equation has 3x plus y equal to 3. All what I have to do is to bring this to the other side. So I just become y here. Y equal. Okay? So y equal minus 3x plus 3. Okay? The second equation. Let's get m2 now. Let's get m2. Okay, y equal minus 3x plus 3. And this number multiplied by x is the slope. So m2 equal to minus 3. Okay? Clear now? Type. What is the relationship between the first slope and second slope? The first slope here is 1 over 3. Right? The second slope is minus 3. What is the relation between them? So if you look at the relationship here, this is 1 over 3. Right? 1 over 3. And this is minus 3. So this is positive, this is negative. This is 1 up, 3 down, this is 3 up, 1 down. It's completely the opposite. This is opposite in sign and also inverted. Yani upside down. This is 1/3, this is 3 here. So that's why we can say they are perpendicular. They are perpendicular. So that we can say what after this? L1 is perpendicular to L2. They are perpendicular. Perpendicular. Okay? Any question about that? Anyone doesn't understand how I got this perpendicular? Because of the sign change, and also this is 1/3, 3/1. Okay? Another way of discovering that it's perpendicular, if you just multiply these two numbers, you get -1. If you multiply m1 times m2, you get -1. That's just another way of knowing that it is perpendicular. Any question? So again, what we did is basically to get the slope of the first line and get the slope of the second line. Here, this happened by solving for y. Here also by solving for y. When you solve for y here and solve for y here, the coefficient of x here is the slope m1, and the coefficient of x here is the slope m2. Knowing m1 and m2, you can compare them and find out if it's parallel or perpendicular or something else.